Did you know that 99% of deaths after 75 come down to just a handful of causes? Many people assume that passing away at an advanced age is simply natural, but the truth is most fatalities stem from avoidable risks that are often ignored until it's too late. The problem is, by the time most people realize what's happening, their health has already deteriorated and their options become limited. But if you understand these dangers now, you can take steps to protect yourself and extend your life in ways you never thought possible. In this video, we're going to uncover the 5 leading causes of death after 75, the ones responsible for nearly all fatalities in this age group. Some of these might seem obvious, while others may surprise you. But one thing is certain, knowing them is the first step toward preventing them. These aren't just statistics, they represent real lives, real families, and real choices that could mean the difference between struggling with health problems or living a long, fulfilling life. Stay tuned until the end because these 5 causes are not inevitable. In fact, by making small but meaningful changes, many people have significantly reduced their risks, stayed independent longer, and added years, sometimes decades, to their lives. The decisions you make today could determine how strong, active, and independent you remain in the years ahead. Now, let's get started. Number 1, heart disease. Remember those days when you'd chase the grandkids around the yard or dance at a wedding without a second thought, the music lifting your feet like a breeze? Your heart was your steady partner, pumping away without complaint, a faithful friend through life's highs and lows. But as we hit 75 and beyond, it's easy to assume that slowing down, feeling winded after a flight of stairs, or tired after a busy morning is just part of getting older, like gray hair or creaky knees. Here's the gentle truth. It doesn't have to be. Heart disease is the number 1 reason we lose folks after 75, but it's not an inevitable guest at the table. It's more like an uninvited visitor you can turn away with care. A reminder that your heart's still got plenty of rhythm left if you listen to its quiet needs. Think of your heart like that old pickup truck you relied on for years, hauling groceries or grandkids with grit and grace. It needs fuel, care, and a little TLC to keep running smoothly. High blood pressure sneaks up quietly, no warning lights, no rattles, until one day, it's a heart attack or stroke that pulls you over, a jolt you never saw coming. The American Heart Association says nearly half of adults over 75 have high blood pressure, but many don't know it until it's too late, like a storm brewing behind clear skies. Then there's diet. Those decades of salty fries or creamy desserts add up, clogging arteries like rust in a pipe, a slow buildup from years of comfort foods. And sitting too long, it's like letting the engine idle. It weakens over time, leaving your heart yearning for the days it roared with every step you took. But here's where hope shines through, like sunlight after a long winter. Take Mary, a spry 78-year-old I met at the community center. Her smile as bright as her spirit. She started walking her dog every morning, not far, just around the block, and swapped out chips for a handful of almonds. A small swap that felt like a gift to herself. Her doctor says her heart's stronger now than it was 5 years ago, proof that time can still be kind. You don't need to run marathons or overhaul your kitchen overnight, leave that to the young folks. A stroll after dinner, a salad with your sandwich, checking your blood pressure at the drugstore. These small steps are life lessons from the elderly that keep your heart humming, a melody of resilience. You've got the wisdom to know what matters. Why not give your heart the care it's earned? A thank you for all the years it's carried you through. What's one way you used to keep active in your younger days that you could bring back in a small way today? Share your story in the comments. I'd love to hear it. Number 2, falls and injuries. There was a time when a tumble meant a scraped knee and a quick laugh, maybe a Band-Aid and a story to tell at supper. Now, a fall can feel like a thief in the night, stealing your confidence or even your independence, a shadow that lingers longer than it used to. It's not something we like to dwell on, but falls are a top reason older adults face serious trouble. Millions of emergency room visits each year, says the CDC. A number that feels too close to home. A fractured hip or a bump on the head can turn a good day into months of recovery, or worse, dimming the light of the life you've built with such care over decades. I think of my neighbor Tom, who at 76 took a spill, reaching for a high shelf, chasing a jar of pickles like it was no big deal. He brushed it off at first, but the bruise led to a week in bed, and he's been hesitant to move much since, his spark a little dimmer now. It's a quiet shift we don't always notice. Balance softens like an old rope fraying, muscles ease up, and what once was a quick recovery takes longer. Testing our patience. Medications can play a part too. That dizzy spell when you stand up might be a pill talking, not just age, a whisper from your body asking for a gentler pace or a second look. Yet here's the beauty. You can shore up your strength like mending a fence before the wind blows it down. My friend Clara, 80, started doing chair exercises after a close call on her porch steps, her determination shining through every lift. She laughs about how she's not ready to sit still forever, and she's right. Simple leg lifts or a handrail by the stairs can make all the difference, steadying your steps with quiet grace. The National Institute on Aging says strengthening your legs cuts fall risk by a third, a small victory worth celebrating. Add better lighting or a rug that doesn't slip, and you're not just preventing a fall, you're holding on to the freedom to live your way. A life lesson from the elderly, a little care today keeps you standing tall tomorrow. If you're still here, thank you for sharing this quiet moment with me. If today's message touched something true in your life, just comment number 2 so I know you're here. And if you haven't yet, I'd love for you to subscribe and tap the bell so you won't miss what's next. This channel is a gentle space where experience matters, kindness is shared, and growing older means something. I'm truly grateful you're here. Number 3, respiratory diseases. Breathing's one of those things we don't think about until it's hard. Like when a cold lingers or a steep hill leaves you puffing, stealing the wind from your sails. After 75, our lungs aren't as spry as they were, less like the bellows that powered your youth, and troubles like COPD or pneumonia can creep in, quiet as dusk. The CDC reports pneumonia sends over 250,000 older adults to the hospital yearly, and COPD affects millions more, numbers that hit close to home when it's your breath on the line. A cough you shrug off as just aging might be a whisper from your lungs asking for help, a soft plea from a friend who's carried you this far. I remember my Aunt Rose, who smoked in her younger days, puffing away on the porch swing and thought her wheezing was no big deal, just a quirk of time. It turned into COPD and she wished she'd paid attention sooner, her regret a heavy sigh in her later years. Dust from an old attic, smoke from a neighbor's grill, even mold in the basement, they all take a toll over time. Like grit wearing down a smooth stone. Sitting too much doesn't help either. Your lungs need a good stretch to stay clear. Or they stiffen like an unused bellows, longing for the days you'd climb a tree or chase a kite without a second thought. But there's good news in the air, fresh as a spring breeze. Take Jim, 77, who started walking to the mailbox daily and got a flu shot on a whim, a choice that felt like a lark. He hasn't had a chest cold in years, his grin proof of the payoff. A purifier in your living room, a vaccine at the clinic, or a brisk walk around the garden, these keep your breath steady, like tuning an old radio to a clear signal. Life lessons from the elderly remind us that every inhale is a gift. Why not nurture it with the same love you give your roses or your grandkids, tending it gently so it blooms for years to come? What's a simple trick you've learned over the years to feel your best, maybe a home remedy or a habit? Drop it in the comments, I'd love to learn from you. Number 4. Stroke. 1 minute you're sipping coffee, savoring the warmth of a quiet morning. The next, you're struggling to speak or move. A stroke can strike that fast, like lightning from a clear sky. It's a top cause of death after 75, a thief that can steal your words or steps in an instant. But here's the silver lining. The Stroke Association says 80% of strokes can be prevented. It's not about luck. It's about listening to your body's quiet signals, those soft nudges you've learned to trust over decades of living. You've faced surprises before. This is one you can meet with the wisdom you've earned. High blood pressure's a silent troublemaker again, wearing down arteries until they block or burst. A hidden current eroding the banks of a river you thought was steady. My cousin Ed, 79, never checked his until a doctor caught it during a routine visit. Treatment brought it down, and he's still golfing, swinging with the gusto of his younger days. An irregular heartbeat like atrial fibrillation can send clots to your brain, but a quick checkup spots it, a simple peek under the hood. Diet and stillness play their parts too. Too much salt or too little walking thickens the odds. Like mud, slowing a once swift stream you used to wade in barefoot. Then there's Helen, 81, who had a mini stroke, a fleeting slur in her speech, a hiccup in her day she didn't ignore. She got help fast, and her doctor says it saved her from a bigger one, a close call turned triumph. A handful of greens, a daily stretch, a chat with your doc about that lightheaded feeling. These aren't chores, they're acts of love for the life you've built. Like tending a fire to keep it glowing. You've navigated tougher roads than this, climbed steeper hills in your time. A few mindful steps can keep your mind and body free, ready for more mornings with that coffee in hand. If you're still here, thank you for sharing this quiet moment with me. If today's message touched something true in your life, just comment number 4 so I know you're here. And if you haven't yet, I'd love for you to subscribe and tap the bell so you won't miss what's next. This channel is a gentle space where experience matters, kindness is shared, and growing older means something. I'm truly grateful you're here. Number 5, cognitive decline and related complications. One of the most heartbreaking realities of aging is the slow loss of memory, reasoning, and independence. Cognitive decline doesn't happen overnight. It creeps in slowly, making small changes that are easy to dismiss at first, but as the years pass, those small lapses turn into something more serious. The ability to manage daily tasks, recognize familiar faces, or make sound decisions begins to fade. And for many, it's not just an inconvenience, it becomes life-threatening. Dementia and Alzheimer's disease don't just affect the mind, they put the entire body at risk. As cognitive function declines, so does the ability to take care of one's own health. Simple things like remembering to take medications, eating balanced meals, or recognizing symptoms of an illness become increasingly difficult. Many seniors with dementia forget to drink enough water, leading to dangerous dehydration. Others may eat too little or too much, causing nutritional deficiencies or weight gain that increases their risk of other serious conditions. But one of the biggest dangers? Accidents. Forgetting to turn off the stove, leaving the door unlocked at night, or wandering outside in unsafe conditions, these are all risks that become deadly as cognitive decline progresses. And for many seniors, this leads to a tragic reality, losing their independence. They may no longer be able to live alone safely, and without proper care, their health declines even faster. The scariest part? Many people don't realize they're experiencing cognitive decline until it has already advanced. Early signs, such as forgetting names, struggling to follow conversations, or misplacing important items, are often brushed off as just getting older. But in reality, These small warning signs are your brain's way of telling you that something is changing. The sooner you take action, the better your chances of slowing the progression and maintaining a sharp, healthy mind for years to come. One of the best ways to protect your brain, staying mentally active. Just like the muscles in your body, the brain needs exercise to stay strong. Reading, learning new skills, doing puzzles, or even having deep conversations keeps your brain engaged and reduces the risk of cognitive decline. And here's something many people overlook. Physical exercise is just as important for brain health as mental activity. Movement increases blood flow to the brain, which helps protect memory and cognitive function. Another key factor: social interaction. Isolation and loneliness speed up mental decline dramatically. Having regular conversations, meeting with friends, and staying engaged with a community can literally help keep your brain sharper longer. The more you challenge your mind with new experiences and meaningful interactions, the more resilient it becomes. And of course, diet plays a major role. What you eat directly affects brain health. Omega-3 fatty acids, antioxidants, and vitamins found in foods like leafy greens, berries, and nuts help protect against cognitive decline. On the other hand, too much processed food, sugar, and unhealthy fats contribute to inflammation in the brain, increasing the risk of dementia. A healthy brain starts with a healthy body, and the choices you make today can shape how well you think and function in the years ahead. Losing cognitive function isn't an inevitable part of aging. By taking the right steps now, keeping your mind and body active, staying socially engaged, and making smart dietary choices, you can significantly reduce your risk. Your brain is just like any other part of your body. The more you take care of it, the stronger it stays. What's a memory or skill you cherish that keeps your mind sharp? Let us know in the comments. Your stories are treasures. Final thoughts. We've taken quite a journey together today, haven't we? We've talked about heart disease, those unexpected falls, breathing troubles, strokes, and the way our minds can sometimes play hide and seek with memories. These 5 things touch nearly every life after 75, but here's the heart of it: they don't have to write the end of your story. You've got more say in this than you might think. And that's a truth worth holding on to. Over the years, you've learned that life isn't about dodging every storm, it's about knowing how to mend the roof before the rain comes. Most folks don't see how much power they have over their health until the chance slips by. But you've weathered enough seasons to know better. The little things, sipping water instead of soda, taking a walk to the mailbox, calling a friend to share a laugh, can stack up like bricks, building you more years of strength, clear thoughts, and the freedom to live your way. It's not about fearing the years ahead, it's about tending them like the garden you've nurtured all your life. Take a quiet moment now. Think back to your days. Maybe you've got a habit or two that could use a gentle tweak. Could you swap that extra slice of pie for some berries? Step outside for a breath of fresh air? Instead of settling into the recliner? Pop in for a checkup or chat with the grandkids more often. You don't need to turn your world upside down. One small step, taken with love, can lead you down a path to more good days. Days where you're still the one calling the shots. You've always known that the best things in life, family, a warm meal, a sunrise, don't come from rushing around. They come from steady care. Your well-being's like that too. It's your treasure, earned through decades of hard work and heart. Protect it, and you'll have more time to sit with your loved ones, to watch the world from your porch, to live without worrying about what might have been prevented. Every morning's a gift, a chance to keep going strong, and the choices you make today can keep you steady for all the tomorrows still waiting. Thank you for spending this time with us. You're the reason we're here. We'd love to hear your voice, so drop a note below. What's one thing that's stuck with you today, and how might you weave it into your days? Your stories and thoughts mean the world to us. They light us up and keep us going. If this chat warmed your heart or sparked an idea, give us a like, subscribe, and pass it along to someone you care about. Your support helps us keep sharing these moments with you. Thanks for being here. We can't wait to see you next time. I'll leave you with a proverb my old friend Clara used to say. The best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The next best time is now. You've planted so much beauty in your life, dear friend. Keep sowing and watch it grow.